Hi everyone. I will start by briefly going over the Host Access Analyzer architecture. After that, I will describe the types of information we collect. Following that, we'll proceed with a short demo of our portal. Let us begin with Analyzer's architecture. The Host Access Analyzer deployment consists of a central server and small clients installed on the end-user machines. The client runs as a service, operating under the system account, so it can collect the required information. The client monitors the machine, and they put a strict emphasis on minimizing impact on the machine's performance. The client uploads its collected information to the Host Access Analyzer server. On the server, the information is processed and made available for admins to view using our portal. The portal includes a comprehensive set of predefined dashboards, as well as the ability to customize these dashboards, create new ones, export the data, and more. Now to the collected information. First of all, it's important to note that Analyzer employs various approaches to collecting information that do not affect the end user's normal work. Our client information collection covers the install base and usage monitoring. There are two types of information gathered about the install base. First, the client runs a periodic scan for installed emulators, listing their versions, service packs, hotfixes, etc. Second, the client runs a periodic scan for relevant emulator files. These include sessions, macros, toolbars, keyboard maps, and layouts. Analyzer extracts relevant information from the detected files, information that can be used, for instance, for emulator migrations, consolidations, or optimization. There are also two types of usage information. First, our connection monitoring allows us to report all applications connecting to a list of predefined hosts. This monitoring covers all connections made by any application and reports the connecting application's name and version. Second, usage monitoring allows us to provide specific information for currently supported emulators. For these emulators, Analyzer reports when the application was launched and how long it was in use. Analyzer also reports the specific session file that was loaded, when the session connected to the host, and how long the connection lasted. Similarly, Analyzer reports on macro executions, which macro file was executed, and the execution duration. Through this information, Analyzer lets you know how often and for how long each of your users used the application, as well as at what time of day. We can also say which of the user's session and macro files were used often, rarely, or not at all. All this information can be displayed in graphs. Of course, there are many ways to use the information. These include terminal emulation, migration, and consolidation, standardization and optimization of sessions and macros across the organization, license compliance, user productivity profiling, and even detection of off-working hours activity. Now onto our portal. The Host Access Analyzer portal is comprised of an overview dashboard and several predefined dashboards. Before we proceed, I would like to mention that each of these allows for customization, filtering, adjustment of the display time range, the default being 30 days, and drilling down. So let's go over the dashboard. After you log in, you will see the overview dashboard. The first thing to mention are the coverage indicators, which basically convey the quality of the data you'll be accessing. The first set of graphs is about terminal emulator products. You get a quick view on what is deployed and what is used. You also get an overview of the assets, that is, the files that are found, like sessions, macros, keyboard maps, etc. The number indicates how many unique files were identified, and the underlying bar, the ratio, to the total number of files. We also provide information on the most used hosts and the top used macros. So in one swift glance, you get a comprehensive view of the install base, from products to assets to usage. From this screen, you can drill down to the other dashboards. So let's drill down to the terminal emulators dashboard. This dashboard lists information about emulators in the organization, when they are used, by date, day of week, and even hour of the day, and how they are split by product line, version, etc. For example, for the purpose of an upgrade scenario, we can identify which emulators are installed on Windows 7. We can then filter specifically for Ramba 9.2 and export the list of machines with this installation. Now I will export the data. I can continue working and will be notified when the data is ready for download. From that point on, I can use it for whatever I need. The filters can be seen and edited here. All the exported reports can be viewed under the exported data area. From here, you can download or delete all exported reports. Now that we have information about the terminal emulation products, let us turn to the connections themselves. This dashboard is built in a similar manner to the previous one. You can see the connections over time and the heat map to see at what time of day the connections were made, which is useful for identifying unusual activity, for example, during weekends, holidays, or at night. It's worth mentioning that this dashboard contains all connections made against the host, including ones from products that Host Access Analyzer does not support yet. This is useful for identifying if there is any unauthorized software used in the organization to connect to the host. Now that we have covered products and connections, let us have a look at sessions. We see the same type of dashboard, showing usage and inventory data, including information parsed from the session files, such as security protocols. The data is sliced in several useful ways. We can, for example, see which sessions are configured with a low TLS 1.1 security setting and proceed to rectify the situation. For that, we can filter mainframe connections, then filter for TLS 1.1. I am left with the relevant sessions, which I can explore and export to an Excel report as we saw earlier. The report can also be adjusted to include additional fields, such as user and machine names. Finally, let us view the macros dashboard. Again, we see the familiar layout. In this dashboard, we can get detailed information about macros, their types, sizes, and when they were used. For example, I can focus on long-running macros. I can export the top macro durations content and review who used which macro and where. That covers the predefined dashboards. Host Access Analyzer is built to be customizable according to your needs. Therefore, existing dashboards and graphs can be customized, and new ones can be added. This can be done either by Micro Focus professional services or by the customer. One final note, the client configuration area is where you can configure the monitoring behavior of all the clients from a central location. That covers our demo. Thank you for listening.